Hi there, and welcome back to Jay's Toy Collection UK for more action figure breaking news. And two videos in 2 days. It must be a busy time here in March of 2024 in Toyland. So, welcome back to the channel. And as I say, I've got a little graphic here for you now. Like, comment, and subscribe if you could. If you're new to the channel, help us hit 2K here in 2024. And as it now says on the screen, don't forget to tickle that notification bell so you know when a new video comes up, because there's been a lot of toy news and I'm sure it is going to continue here in 2024. But as you've seen by the thumbnail, if I jump to the smaller screen here, and the spreadsheet, of course, the spreadsheet is back. And it's not been a while since you've seen the spreadsheet. It's been less than a month. But Todd is leaking again. So, McFarlane Toys once again have left the tap on. Somebody needs to pay that man's water bill because it is going to get very, very expensive. The amount of leaks that have been coming from DC and McFarlane Toys. So, I am going to go through top 10 style of what's just come out on the leaked list. So, I've got the information as ever from JC over at tnitoynews.com. The full list is available over there because, of course, the Hong Kong retailers have got their listings up. And once again, we have leaked indeed. So we will go through my favorite of the reveals, but there were an absolute ton of the things ranging from the 7-inch DC Multiverse figures to mega figures to the redo of the Batman, the animated series stuff, or the new adventures of Batman, I think they're going to this time. We've got more McFarlane Toys digital to come with we love an NFT here. Let me know in the comments if you love an NFT. I'm sure you do. Note the sarcasm there, Todd. We've got the retro 1966 figures to come. So, Kurt K, if you're watching, you might be excited here because we have got some 66 action on this list. We've got vehicles, and we've even got some more superpowers on the list. As I say, I'm not going through everything. We are just going to go top 10 style in this breaking news video, which is exactly what I did last time when Todd couldn't help but have a leak. So let's get into the list then, as I go to this beautifully prepared spreadsheet that you all love to see here at Jay's Toy Collection UK. And in at number 10 then. So at number 10, we're going to start it off with a vehicle. Now, it's already been a very expensive week for action figure collectors. Cheap plug for myself. If you haven't watched yesterday's video, go and watch Donatello's Lab from NECA, because we did have a bit of breaking news. Find out if I spent over $300 on that item. May have done, but you go and watch that video and find out. And potentially, when I go downstairs, because I think she only just finished work as I film this one, I've got a couple of Mezcos coming. So it's been an expensive time. But let's have some more vehicles, because who doesn't want enough vehicles? But this time it is the Batmobile again, but it's a comic book version. So we've had plenty, it seems, of Batmobiles, some on the leak list and some that have come to fruition. We've had Keaton's from Batman 89. DC Direct, of course, have done the Batman the Animated Series, where you can actually see on the screen here, because in the White Knight storyline, he literally had a Batcave full of all the different Batmobiles from over the years. One on the previous leak list was the one at the top here, the Tumbler from the Christian Bale films. That's been leaked that we're getting that. On the bottom there, you almost see the 1989 version. But on the top left of this image from the Sean Gordon Murphy comic, we have the White Knight version of the Batmobile. So potentially our first comic book version from McFarlane. But where are we going to put all these Batmobiles? So let me know in the comment section. Are you buying the vehicles? Would you prefer some sort of back cycles, some smaller vehicles, or are you in to try and create your own Batcave, potentially a full-on 7-inch scale Batmobile? So he's done the 66 as well, isn't he? I've got that one literally just behind me over there in the corner. We've got the 66 Batmobile. But yeah, probably one I'm not going to be buying because I'm literally running out of space for Batmobiles. I've got two of the other ones you can't see above me, but right on the ceiling, I've literally got two Batmobiles on the top shelf because I've not really got anywhere else to put them anymore. But if you're into your toy photography, maybe you could store them away and do a few photos. So that might work. So it is nice to see a comic book version. Not my most favorite design, to be honest with you, of a Batmobile there. The sort of two-forked prong sort of look of this Batmobile. But there it is. It is on the leaked list. It is a DC Multiverse 7-inch scale White Knight Batmobile gold label. Gold label. So that means it will be some form of exclusive. Now, of course, previous rant videos on this channel, when Todd decided to drop the crazy $40 priced wave on his own site, but eventually, as an update to that video, the figures did come to the UK, so Popular Replicas did get in, at least for pre-order, his $40 McFarlane figures from Crisis on Infinite Earths, but they weren't $40 in the UK, so that turned out to be a bit of a bonus. So number 10 then, on this new leak list, we have the Batmobile. So number 9 then, what am I ninthly excited about? Sergeant Rock. So DC Collector's Edition, Wave 5, Sergeant Rock, brackets, DC Classic. So as you see here, the Sergeant Rock comics, effectively a World War II sort of US military comic, is what Sergeant Rock is here in my most definitive description of the comic there. But it's going to be nice to get a sort of generic-ish looking military figure, potentially in a 7-inch scale. So the G.I. Joe classified collectors out there, probably not going to perfectly scale because it's going to be a bit too tall, but you could have some giant mixing over in your G.I. Joe collection as well. Or, of course, Sergeant Rock can be used as Sergeant Rock, as I will be using him in the DC Multiverse display. So not a character that I recall ever seeing before. Unfortunately, I never got into DC Universe Classics. I didn't know they existed at the time. And by the time I did, they were far too expensive. So I'm not sure if he's been done in DC Universe Classics. I'm sure somebody in the comments will let me know if he has. But I don't recall seeing him from Mattel. So it would be nice to see Sergeant Rock here in DC Multiverse. So he's number 9 on my list. So one thing you'll notice is I don't think there's any Batmans on my top 10 here. So Todd has an obsession with Batman. I'm quite a Batman fan myself. So to be honest, I've bought quite a lot of them. So it's nice to see into year 3 now, I think, of McFarlane Toys. We are branching out into a lot more characters from the DC universe, not just Batman related. But we still need to get some of them classic Batman villains, which we will get to. But here we are, another character. I'm not going to lie, I have no idea who this man is. So this is the DC Multiverse 7-inch Sportsmaster. And it says a Chase edition. So whether this figure itself is a Chase or there will be a Chase variant, I don't know. Todd does like his Chases. They're a bit of a pain in the bottom, to be honest with you, because they're very hard to track down, especially internationally, because we don't get a lot of retailers that even get them in. So, Todd, if you're somehow listening, please sort out your international distribution. So it can be very difficult. So, Sportsmaster seems to be appearing in some Suicide Squad comics, from what I could see from a quick bit of googling. But I do like the design, so that's why he's making number 8 on the list here of my most exciting leaks of March of 2024. It's because I do like more the modern design here on the left, I think. The tactical suit and the sort of mask, almost Casey Jones-esque. He kind of reminds me of there. So I do like the design of Sportsmaster. So, yeah, I'll be quite intrigued to see if we are going to get these, because, of course, they aren't rumours. But with Todd, it does seem a lot of these international listings go up, and they all do appear to be true. So there's a lot of first-timers to the line, not just Sportsmaster. They haven't made my list, but there's Max Mercury on the list. There's Fire on the list. There's the Manhunters. I'm not going to lie again. No idea who any of those people are, but they're on the list at least. So they will be coming, hopefully soon, from DC Multiverse. So in at number 7, I said there would be some Batman-related figures, and at number 7, I teed it up nicely because Mr. Freeze is on the list. And he's just listed as 7-inch DC Multiverse Mr. Freeze. So we no inkling of what version of Mr. Freeze this will be. Seems to be regular line then. Doesn't say it's a Chase or a Platinum edition or anything. So I do enjoy a bit of Mr. Freeze. We've had a few, so it'll be nice to get some more. I've given you the image here of the Mr. Freeze. I hope it is a classic sort of 1980s style, almost Superpowers-esque Mr. Freeze I'd like to see. They have done a Chase variant that just is astronomical money on the aftermarket, kind of as a tribute to this version, but not necessarily in the accurate suit. So I would like a more accurate version of this. but there are plenty of versions of Mr. Freeze out there to choose from. So we'll have to let Todd let us know and see what it is. Do let me know, as I say, down in the comments as well if you're here or watching on the replay, because of course I'm not live, so you're all technically watching on that replay. Don't forget to hit that like button, of course. I'll put that up again. Subscribe if you're new, and of course tickle that notification bell. So Mr. Freeze, nice to see more Mr. Freezes in the line. I can't get enough of Victor Freeze. So he's in at number 7, but at number 6, another new figure. So they've done an Atom before in the multiverse line, but it's in the Page Punchers line, I think, based on some very strange artwork, I must say, and some of those Page Puncher comics. So they're not really floating my boat. They are not tickling my fancy. So I haven't gone in for a lot of the Page Punchers. So here we have a classic version of the Atom then. So the Ray Palmer Silver Age Atom. He's not Ant-Man. Don't call him Ant-Man. Definitely not Ant-Man. But this is listed as DC Direct McFarlane Toys Digital. Okay. So I'm assuming we are actually going to get a figure, but I'm sure we're going to get ourselves a lovely NFT to go with it. Seems they may put a couple of dollars on the price in the US. Didn't seem to affect the UK prices of the previous wave we had with the sort of NFTs included, because we have the NFT builder figure, didn't we, with Batman. Who else was in that wave along with Batman? Aquaman and Green Lantern. We've just gone up for pre-order, and they did sell out again here in the UK. So Todd, I'll give him his due, Todd. He is selling out a lot. So whether he's reduced his quantities, which is probably most likely, or the retailers themselves are buying in less quantities here in the UK. But definitely McFarlane stuff sells out quick. It sells out literally within the first hour. It goes out for pre-order on a lot of our independent retailers. So yeah, you've got to be quick these days when it comes to DC Multiverse and Todd and McFarlane toys. So a classic version of the Atom, as far as I'm aware, for the first time in the McFarlane toys line. Again, great to add more characters across DC and not just Batman. So number 5 then. Back to Batman, why not? But this time it's Killer Croc. So as you can see here, we're going to the Megafig territory. So you're in the sort of $40 range, 45. Well, some of his exclusives on his own site seem to be in that range. So hopefully these are going to stay in that sort of 40, £45 price point. But it is Killer Croc GITD gold label. So unless there's something I'm missing with like the Gotham City Police Department or something there, GITD I think must stand for glow in the dark. That's all I can think of is what it stands for. So are we going to get a glow in the dark crocodile? Could be interesting. So sometimes if it is glow in the dark, I find the paint when it's not glowing does look a bit weird. Some of the sort of shading on it. So we'll have to wait and see till this gets in hand, but I don't have a Killer Croc in my McFarlane collection. He did the one from the Arkham video games, but of course, those who do know the channel, I've been in, out, in, out, in, out, and back in again. So I'm on my 4th time with McFarlane toys. So I did sell that figure quite a while ago. So it'd be nice to have Killer Croc in the line. This was one of the last, if not the last, click and connect or connect and connect or build a figure, as you would say, from the Mattel line before McFarlane took over the license. So it'd be nice to see a Killer Croc. Again, we don't know what version it is. And yes, GITD, that is hard to say. That's a tongue twister here on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Literally, it's been a long day at work. I don't even know what day it is. I think it's Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday the 6th. So we'll find out here. But here is Killer Croc then. Mega figure. Going to be cool. Will it come with a rat? I don't know. But he might even glow in the dark. So at number 4, right, Batman 66 fans, rejoice. Because I've given you not 1 but 2 figures here. I've cheated my own list. It's technically a top 11. Batman 1966. So as you can see, I do enjoy this line. So behind me in the display, if I just jump back to full screen and move myself that away, you can see behind me over there, that way, you can see the Batcave and some of the 66 figures and the Batmobile itself. So I am in on this 66 line and 2 new characters. So that is nice to see here from the list. We have got Bookworm, one of the obscure villains from the 66 show, a character I think was invented in the actual 66 show and then came into the comics later. Again, correct me in the comments if I've chatted a load of rubbish on that one. But I think Roddy McDowell's version of the Bookworm here was invented for the 66 show before he came into the comic books. So here is Bookworm. It's exciting. What a stupid design. Yes, he loves his books, and he's got a reading sort of a light on his head. It's the 60s. It's camp 60s, and it's absolute finest. So there is Bookworm, and right next to him we have Alfred. So those that collected the Mattel line before McFarlane, they did do an Alfred towards the end of the line, and you got 3 or 4 interchangeable head sculpts to do various movie versions from the 90s movies 266 to the comic book. So I do have that as a stand-in using the Alfred head. But it'll be nice to have a more in scale figure, because those figures are much taller than the McFarlane ones here, because these are actually sort of, they say sort of 6-inch, but they're like true 6-inch. They're almost just over 5.5, 6-inch scale. So they are much, much smaller, these figures from the 66 line. So it'll be good to have Alfred finally in the line in full scale. And of course, he hasn't. Another thing this means is he hasn't stopped the 66 line going into the 1970s animated stuff with the New Adventures of Batman. We're wondering, is he going to stop with the 66? But clearly not. Right then, top 3. Are you ready? Drum roll, please. Here we go. Top 3. My third most excited leak of a leak list is the Green Arrow. So it's the DC Direct McFarlane toys, again digital. So they like a bit of digital. It's Green Arrow. Classic. Brackets classic. So I'm assuming we are going to get the hat. We're going to get the hatted version rather than the sort of hooded version. I think we're going to get the little hatted version. So it's not Robin Hood. This is not in no way Robin Hood. That, of course, is the Green Arrow himself. A much needed figure. A much needed figure for DC Multiverse. We've had Green Arrow in the video game version from the Injustice games, which is kind of more of a modern look, really. So a classic look is one I would be liking. So yeah, hopefully this is a version with his little hat on. Maybe there'll be a chase with a hood. I don't know. So there's options there for a classic Green Arrow. So again, let me know in the comments what you think the exact costuming is going to be like here of the Green Arrow. Are we going to go full 70s? We're going to go a bit later with the Longbow Hunters? I don't know. We will find out. So Green Arrow is definitely coming, according to the leak list, which we know is 100% going to be true. Let's have some faith in the leakers. So Green Arrow is here at number 3. Oh, it's 2 big ones next. It's 2 big ones. I'll give you a clue. It's 2 villains I've got. So if you've seen the leak list, 2 villains. Who is it going to be? My number 2 and my number 1. I'm very excited for. But number 2, it is Metallo then. So DC Multiverse 7-inch Metallo brackets gold label. So it is going to be an exclusive. But again, we don't know where. We're going Target, we're going Walmart, we're going Amazon, we're going to McFarlane store. And will it have any international distribution? I don't know. So previously on Jay's Toy Collection UK, I did used to own a Metallo figure. It was one of the builder figures, again, from the Mattel line. Massive figure as it was. And it had the opening chest, as you can see there, where the kryptonite sort of heart is. So that's a key feature, I think, of Metallo. There's been a lot of designs over the years of Metallo. So I don't know which version Todd will be choosing. I hope it's one of these more sort of classic looks that I've gone for here. Especially, I always like the look where you've got a sort of the half skin. You've almost got the Two-Face there with the skin and then the robot underneath. But I do like the opening chest. So hopefully we got some we got to get some kryptonite there. That could glow in the dark. That could be an effective use of glow in the dark. Give me some glowing kryptonite, Todd. That's what I would like to see. Now, of course, the Mattel version was a builder figure. This isn't listed as a mega figure. It's just a regular size figure. So give me a bit more hope. We'll get a more sort of one of these versions, a regular size Metallo to take out our Superman. So I've kept you waiting long enough, ladies and gentlemen. What is the biggest figure on this league? And it probably is the actual physical biggest figure on this list. It's an absolute must-have, I think, for a DC collector. Are you ready? It is the DC Collector's Megafig Wave 8 Darkseid brackets DC Classic. So surely we are going to get this Jack Kirby classic looking Darkseid in his little tunic, his little dress. He looks fantastic. That is the version of Darkseid I want. I thought they'd end up going more modern. We'd get the sort of rebuild or the new 52 version, I should say. But I want this version. And it says brackets DC Classic. So it gives me hope we are going to get a massive sort of 9-inch. How big is Darkseid going to be? At least 9 inches of pure evil Darkseid. Oh, that's what I would like to see. So he has made number 1 on my list from these March leaks, which I'm sure will all be coming over the next sort of 6 to 9 months. Todd does seem very fast with his distribution. He's not great with international, but we might be seeing some of these figures quicker than we thought. So we've got Calla back again, a more modern version, but it's close enough. We could do with maybe Big Bertha, old granny goodness. We got some characters here from, of course, the Jack Kirby's epic New Gods. Would be great to get in the DC Multiverse line. But Darkseid is definitely one of my most wanted figures. He's in the middle of the thumbnail, so I gave it all away at the very start. But that is what I want to see. Darkseid. He's on the list, finally. So that's it. We've done my top 10 of the Elite list. So again, do let me know all your thoughts in the comments. And I will say I always try to go and read everything that goes on in the comment section here. And of course, if you are new to the channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button and help me get to 2,000 here in 2024. So I'm off to try and hopefully open some Mezco figures. And I hope you enjoyed it. So that is it. That is the spreadsheet there in all its glory. I will just pop back to this ugly mug. Far too much light going on outside. But that's it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Jay. This has been Jay's Toy Collection UK with more McFarlane Elite List news. And we'll see you, of course, on the next video.